Now this is a temperature reconstruction that has been published by a lot of people. People have been drilling boreholes all over the United States, all over Europe, all over Africa and Asia, and out in the oceans, and they all come up with the same graph. And they construct, this is a 1,000-year construction, and once again, we find this medieval warming period, and then we have what's called the Little Ice Age. Okay, back in the time of the colonial times, back in maybe the 1600s, when after they were settled in Jamestown, it would have been very possible to walk from Staten Island to Manhattan. Okay, I mean, the river was frozen back then. It's obviously not today, and that's because they were in a Little Ice Age. Okay, now we're coming out of that Little Ice Age, and we're coming out, and therefore we're getting warmer. So the first assessment report of the IPCC actually had this figure in it. The second assessment report had the figure in it. But these people, remember their motivation, remember their mission statement wasn't to do science, it was to have the scientists to demonstrate that man was causing an increase in global warming. So they didn't like this because if you can show that the temperature increases today are not abnormal, that it warmed just as much back in the medieval warm period and then we got a little ice age, then why is this so unusual? So I think they went against the grain. So now we come to Michael Mann's hockey stick. How many people here know Michael Mann's hockey stick? Anybody? All right, some people do. Good. What happened is Michael Mann, who is a tree ring guy, he's a paleoclimatologist, and he studies tree rings. And if you look at tree rings, the bigger the tree ring, the hotter the climate. And the problem with that is that tree rings also respond to water. The wetter it is, the bigger the tree ring. They also respond to CO2, so the more CO2 in the atmosphere, the tree ring is bigger. So there's some problems with that. But what he did is he did a construction. He had some data. He put the data together, and he came out with this. And it's called the hockey stick. Okay? Now what happened? He made the medieval warm period disappear. All right? He made the Little Ice Age disappear. But he has this huge increase in temperature. So what it does is now it makes people assume, or it makes the data appear that now this warming here, which is it starts in the time of in the 1900s, that it's somehow unusual. Okay, it's unusual because we only see it here and we don't see it here anymore. Right? Well, this all of a sudden this was not this figure here was not in the third report of the IPCC. They didn't like this one anymore. They like this one better because this one fit their hypothesis. Okay. And at the same time, a contemporary scientist named Swan, he came up with borehole data, which once again supports the pretty much common reconstruction that we're used to seeing. A medieval warming period, the Little Ice Age. Now, this was reported in the third IPCC report, but it was very deep. Nobody could see it. They didn't show the graph. They just mentioned it in text, so you couldn't see it. But they took Michael Mann's data and they plastered it all over the third report. Okay? They made big, huge color pictures of it. They're obviously trying to emphasize this over this. Okay? What they're trying to do is they're trying to hide the medieval warm period, the Little Ice Age, and they're trying to exacerbate this warming period here to make it look like there's this dramatic, unusual change in temperature warming that has to be due to man, right? This is the whole idea. Now this is something that was kind of unusual. This came out of these leaked reports, right? These leaked emails. And this came from a guy whose name was Dr. David Deming, who was a geochemist. And it says here that with the publication, he published an article in the journal Science, and he's a borehole temp guy. He's a chemist who figured out a new technique of deriving temperatures from boreholes. And he presents this article in Science, it's kind of a breakthrough. He says, I gained significant credibility in the community of scientists working on climate change. They thought I was one of them. So one of them left their guard down. A major person, which he doesn't name, worked in the area of climate change and global warming, sent me an astonishing email that says, we have to get rid of the medieval warm period. Okay? So they're blatant about it. They said, we have to get rid of the medieval warm period. And all the science would just make it go away. Another one. This one here comes from Professor Michael Mann at Penn State, or State Penn. And it says, I think they're trying to adopt a time frame of 2,000 years, because this is how they're doing these constructions now, right? Rather than the usual 1,000 years, addresses a good earlier point that a guy named Peck made with regard to a news memo. He said that would be nice to try to contain the punitive medieval warming period, okay? So what he wants to do is he wants to fudge around with these graphs. He wants to expand the axis a little bit and try to hide that medieval warm period a little bit more. So what happened is recently, find the problems with the hockey stick. What they did is they compiled all this tree ring data, okay, and they analyzed it, and they found out that when they got to about 1960, the temperatures of the tree rings went down. Instead of going up, the temperature went down. Okay? They said, well, what's this all about? We know the temperature's going up, but the data's going down, so we can't have that. We can't present that graph. If we present that graph, there's no warming at all. So what they did is they did a lot of things. One thing that they did was Michael Mann, who got rid of this, and this is called the problem of divergence. We call this divergence because the tree ring data show the temperature going down towards the end of this last century, when in fact they know that it's going up. They have actual thermometer data show it's going up. So what they did is to get rid of the divergence problem is they graphed it onto their proxy data. Their tree ring data stopped at 1960, and they just graphed it onto that regular temperature data from thermometers. But you can't do that. It means there are two different types of temperature measurements, and there's different variabilities in them. It's not acceptable to do. It's wrong. So another way they did it is they cherry-picked the proxies, and a guy named Keith Griffo over at the head of the CRU decided, well, yeah, we can fix this problem. We'll just take and we'll pick the tree ring data that have high temperatures, and the ones that have low temperatures, we'll just get rid of them. All right? Now, there was no statistical test for doing that. I mean, we drop data in science all the time, but you have to have a statistical reason for doing it. Well, then he did. He just dropped the ones that he didn't like and kept the ones that he did. So when a guy named Steve McIntyre reanalyzed all this data, he found out that there was all these missing points. When you put the missing points back in, you get a straight line. You don't get a hockey stick anymore. All right. They had a problem here, and the problem is that if you use all the proxy data, okay, you go all the way from past 1960 all the way to 1994, 1999, whatever the year this was at, you'll lose the hockey stick because the proxy data shows no warming, okay, after 1960. Which they want to have warming, right? They want to show that hockey stick. They want to show the blade. So they couldn't accept that. But if you say that the last 40 years of proxy data don't follow real temperature data, then what you've essentially done is you've invalidated all your proxy data before then, right? And all that proxy data before then conveniently wiped out their medieval warming period and the little ice age. So they couldn't do that either. So they were in a real quandary. So once again, the problems that were analyzed with the hockey stick is that they had some statistical problems with a complicated method of analysis called principal component analysis, which is a type of nonlinear regression analysis. They did that wrong. They did this divergence called height of decline. They had all sorts of tricks for doing that, dropping data, smoothing data, grafting data, whatever, cherry picking, and finally we had model throwing. Okay, and they actually wrote programs to take this data, to take Michael Mann's data, and to make a hockey stick. Well, how did they do that? This is something that was dumped out of the last emails. Okay, not only did they dump emails, but they dumped some computer code. And this is a little bit of IPO code, and my program is rusty, but I used to do some programming in Fortran and BASIC a long, long time ago. And I thought when you do programming, you write programs, you write lines that the computer will see and execute, and lines that are non-executable. Okay? The non-executable lines, you put things in there that will remind you what to do. Okay? There's no comments. And in this language called IPL, you start a comment with basically a semicolon. What this does is it tells the computer that this is not to be used. Okay? Not to be used as executable language. And so what you do is you write a comment here. You might say the code after this is for graphing something. The code after this is for doing the averages. The code after this is for dividing by pi, or whatever you're doing. Okay, to remind you so that when you look at it 10 years later, you know what you did. But here, we're not sure who the programmer is, but he was brazen enough to put, we're going to apply a very artificial correction for the decline. Okay, so he's going to fix this hockey stick. And then this line right here basically sets up a matrix of data that has 20 data points in it. It starts out with data, which comes up from here somewhere, we don't know where, but it starts with